everybody, Jen here from Diffusing the Tension. I have not used this YouTube channel in a while, and so I wanted to make it a little bit more of a priority to hop on and post some helpful mental health related videos. Probably just going to be based off of posts that I make, inspirational articles I've seen, etc., etc. If you do see me glancing down, also I feel like the angle is kind of weird. I never really know where to look. That's okay. If you see me glancing down, it's because I'm looking at notes. I have some sort of scientific things that I want to mention. And so if I glance down, it's because I want to be able to remember everything that I had thought of that I wanted to say. And if you are watching this, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. Let me know in the comments of this video. That would be really helpful. Let me know any questions you might have about the topic as I'm talking, if anything comes to mind. Answer in the comments. Since this is not a live video, obviously I will not be responding to them as they come up, and as you ask them, I'll be hopping on later to check any comments that I get, and I'll reply then. So for those that are not familiar with my blog, my name is Jen, and my blog is called Diffusing the Tension. It is centered around mental health, and then under that gigantic topic, I mainly focus on depression, anxiety, and self-care. Those are the ones that are kind of nearest and dearest to my heart. Those are the ones that I deal with the most predominantly in my life. And so they are sort of the subtopics of mental health that I feel most confident speaking about. And like I said earlier at the beginning of the video, I wanted to hop on here more regularly and create some more video content because I know video content is something that a lot of people enjoy. A lot of people are more sort of video visual people versus wanting to read like long posts. I like typing long posts. Some of my posts can be quite long. That's just kind of what I enjoy doing, but just to kind of help cater to the people that prefer more video content, I'm going to try to post a video to this channel. I'm going to shoot for once a week. But I do have small children and life gets a little crazy. And so it might be like every couple of weeks. I'm going to start there and then see what happens after that. See if I can maybe build up to being able to do it more often, especially as these stay-at-home laws and like the pandemic stuff is kind of lightening up. And then I can be relying on people to watch my kids so I can make the videos. So the topic of this video is based on the most popular post that I have to date, which is all about challenging negative thought patterns. And the biology of a negative thought is pretty interesting. I guess I had never thought about it before I had written that post. I'm someone that's always been sort of more prone to negative ways of thinking. To be completely honest, I would say I'm a natural pessimist, which is something in my mental health growth journey I am trying to work on. But I never really thought what actually caused me to be so negative. And so I am going to be glancing down because I wrote some things down that I wanted to remember. So when you are depressed, as I am somebody that lives with depression, you're more prone towards something called ruminative thinking. And what ruminative thinking is when you tend to ruminate on your past, things you've done wrong before, things that maybe like embarrassed you in the past, traumatic memories from your childhood. When you live in a state of depression, your brain is more hardwired to focus on those things. And when you focus on those things, it tends to generate negative feelings. So state of depression leads to negative thoughts, leads to negative feelings. And what happens when you have more negative feelings? You're more depressed. So depression causes more depression. It's kind of like a never-ending cycle. And a lot of these thoughts, I'm not sure if you've ever noticed this in your life, but they tend to snowball. And that's something that I definitely have experienced, especially when I'm dealing with a period of anxiety. So in case you are unfamiliar with the term snowballing or the phrase snowballing thoughts, what that means essentially is that you start with one thought. You start at point A, and after a certain amount of time, you were way off at like point 2.5. You're somewhere from point A to some place that like completely does not even make sense in regards to that. So an example of something like that would be, let's say you think, I hate the way my body looks. That's kind of like a common thing that people think, especially maybe women might be more prone to that. But I want to include men too, because I think men's mental health needs to be more of a focus in society. But let's say you think the thought, I hate the way my body looks. That thought could then become, nobody is ever going to love me because of how my body looks. That thought can then become, I'm never going to get married and have kids. That thought could then become, I'm not going to have anybody to pass my legacy down to. And that thought could become, my whole life is pointless and I'm going to die alone and nobody will care about anything. You know, it's like ridiculous things. And I know that that's a very common thing that people with depression and anxiety experience. It's a common result of chronic negative thinking, is these snowballing thought patterns. And so you really want to be challenging those when they pop up if you can, because negative thinking, I'm going to be looking down. It has a lot of negative physical and emotional effects on your body. I'm just going to read off the list. Some effects of negative thinking are stress. It affects your hormones. It makes you unhappy, obviously. If you're always thinking bad things about yourself, you're going to be unhappy. It can affect your immune system, which that's really important during this pandemic, to be taking any steps we can to improve our immune system. Negative thinking can shorten your lifespan. It ages you, so it speeds up any physical things that could happen in your body in the natural aging process. It can cause hypertension, heart disease, digestive issues, and increased risk for infection. So obviously, you can tell from that list of effects that negative thinking is really, really bad. And so what can you do? Obviously, from the things that I've just said, you're probably thinking, I really, really need to stop thinking so negatively. And so what you can do, I am going to put a link in the description of this video to a blog post that I wrote about challenging negative thought patterns, which is what kind of inspired me to do this video. That post is sort of becoming popular again. So I'm going to post a link to that in the description of this video. So go check it out and leave me a comment with, you know, something you found the most interesting, a kind of goal you have for yourself as far as your own negative thinking. I'd really, really like to hear from you. It's always interesting to me to hear people's journeys and their stories with mental health. So make sure to leave me a comment and then make sure you share the post. Like I said, this is a really difficult time with the pandemic. We want to be doing what we can for our physical health. We want to be doing what we can for our mental health. Unfortunately, suicide is on the rise right now. So as these negative thoughts come up, we want to be challenging them the best we can. So check out the blog post that I'm going to link in the description of this video. Share the blog post, and you can also share this video. Like I said, a lot of people are more visual people. They might enjoy this sort of content versus, you know, reading a longer blog post. They might prefer to watch this and then just skim the post. That's totally fine. You can share either the post or this video. And like I said, I'm going to try to hop on here and make a video hopefully once a week. If I can't manage that with my 5 and 3-year-old, maybe every other week, 2 or 3 times a month, something like that. So make sure you subscribe to this channel and hit there should be a bell button so you can get notified whenever I post a video. And that is it for today, my inaugural attempt at wanting to make YouTube videos. So I hope you enjoyed this and have a great weekend. Bye-bye.